Good morning, everybody. It's October 23rd, 2020. I'm Kimberly Jolly from Fat Quarter Shop, and we're doing a free sew-along called Sewcialites. We're on block 5 today. It's called Wisdom, and it was designed by Sherri McConnell of A Quilting Life. We also have her brand new planner that I'm going to show you later in the show. But I wanted to show you how the blocks look and what we're going to be making today. So these are the 3 blocks that I made with Homestead. This free pattern has 3 size options: 9-inch, 6-inch, and 3-inch. And so those are my 3 blocks that I'm going to turn these into the quilt that is going to look like this at the end, and I'm going to do 3 different quilts. I'm going to show you the blocks that our sample makers made. So Teresa used Quotation by Zen Chic. Deborah used Figs and Shirtings by Fig Tree Quilts. And if you're not interested in pressing open, you can see that Deborah did and Teresa didn't. So do whatever works for you. We wrote the pattern as pressed open just because when you start joining the blocks together, you might have a lot of things that touch, so we felt it was easier to do press open, but you don't have to finish this way. Terry made her block with Folktail. Sue made hers with Shine On by Bonnie and Camille. And Angel made hers with Cider by Basic Gray. So this is 9-inch, 6-inch, and 3-inch. And that's what we're going to be making today. Super easy. So for today, let me show you. The basic premise of this block is 4 half-square triangles, a 4-patch, and some 2-patch rectangles. And today I'm going to show you how I save time in my sewing room, and the pattern is written to do it the traditional way. So you might want to sew it that way. You might want to try my technique. We obviously don't write the pattern for my technique just because I kind of make it up as I go. So let's pull out the pattern and get started. So I take from my Sewcialites binder. We're on block 5. It's called Wisdom. It's only 1 page today. Yay! This is definitely a beginner block, so that's great. For your half square triangles, if you're going to, you can make them the traditional way, which is right here. This is your instructions. If you want to use triangle paper, you would use 1-inch, which is H100 for the 3-inch block, H200 for the 6-inch block, and H300 for the 9-inch block. You would just take the unfinished size, which is listed right here, take 1/2 inch off, and that gives you 1-inch, 2-inch, and 3-inch. And today I'm going to be demonstrating the 6-inch, so I'm going to put these 2 away. My 2 fabrics I'm going to use today are right here. I have them starched, and that's kind of how you can tell they are starched because they stand up like a little teepee. I'm going to iron these real quick. And when I'm ironing, I do use steam. I'm going to go ahead and put the fabrics right sides together and kind of the same sizes together. Now when I starch, my fabric has already shrunk, so you can see that one side is longer than the other. So you can see that about 1/2 inch shrunk off. So when I'm working with the fabrics, I usually put the sizes that keep the sizes together as they shrink, kind of. You don't have to pre-starch, that's just what I do. And this time I'm not gonna cut everything at one time. I'm just gonna do the half square triangles. Real quick, I'm gonna do those, and then we're gonna come back and do all of this because I'm gonna chain piece. So first I'm gonna cut for A and D Actually, look, I just pulled this off and it went like this. Sorry. I was like, oops. Okay, so here I'm going to cover up the 9" and the 3" so I don't get too confused and cut the wrong thing like I did on week 1. So for my A and D, I need 2 3" squares. So I'm going to take 2 of the pieces off of this roll. So I'll just cut 2 from the end. And it looks like this is cut off kind of funny, so I'm going to actually throw these away because that doesn't look like it was cut straight. So I'm going to start with 2 clean ones, cut directly on the solid line. I always make my triangles with triangle paper. Now, we wrote the instructions with the traditional way because we don't want you to feel like you have to buy the triangle paper. I'm going to just place this on any corner. My fabrics are already right sides together, and they are pressed before. I'm just going to cut around this real quick. We're going to do the half square triangles and then come back to the rest. So from here, when you're working with triangle paper, you have a solid line and you have dotted lines. I am going to stitch directly on the dotted lines, and I'm going to use a 1.5 stitch length. But what you should do at home is whatever stitch length you usually use, go down 0.5. So some people use a 2.5 stitch length, then you would just use a 2.0. I just use a regular needle for this. If I was doing a lot of triangle paper, I would use a size 90 needle. So move my stitch length down and go right on the dotted lines. So I've stitched on the lines. Now I'm going to cut around the 4 sides. You can cut any way you would like though. The goal is to cut on the solid lines. And if you want to do the traditional way, we have those instructions written right here. And then just cut. I'm going to move all of my items over here that I'm using. And here I'm going to just pull my paper off. Sometimes I fold over and pull, sometimes I just pull, kind of depends what I feel like. So I'm going to pull this paper off. We're going to iron. I will be pressing everything open. And this block is pretty easy, so I'm excited about that. I did want to remind you guys next Friday, I will not have a live stream. I'm going to do it on Thursday instead because my daughter is going to a dance convention and we're going to drive up on Thursday night. Her solo is Friday afternoon. The funny thing is she hasn't done her solo yet, so I said, well, which one of these solos is yours? She goes, oh, I don't know the name of the song. I was like, okay. So I don't even know. I don't know exactly what time. So I have set my seam. I press to one side. And then I'm going to cut my little dog ears off. And then press open. So yeah, I will be doing block 6 next week on Thursday. So we're going to release everything a day early so that I can still do the live stream. Okay, so to press open, I will just finger press and press. And I like to let that sit a little bit. And then sometimes I stack them on tops because then that just gets the bottom one even hotter. So just do them all at the same time. And then I'm going to use one of the clappers. And I just put that clapper right on that. Move it to the side and we will move to the next part. But let me know if there's any questions before I keep going.
Yeah. First of all, Wilma Evans had said, "Good morning, happy birthday to me, big 77 today."
Happy
Wilma.
birthday.
I see you in our live chat every week, so I want to make sure to wish you a happy birthday. Stitch with Lisa Bonjean says, "Hi, Lily and Kimberly. First time I am watching live."
Oh, yay. I watched you the other day. I didn't want to comment, though. I was like, I don't know what to say.
You can just say hello. From Crafting a Plans Life, question: I've never made a quilt before, and I am waiting for my homestead fabric. The directions say 5.5 yards for backing and finishing. Is there fabric in the fat quarter, or do I order separate yardage?
Read it again.
So she says she's waiting for homestead, and the directions on the pattern say she needs 5.5 yards, I think, for backing and finishing. And she's wondering if there's fabric in the fat quarter or if she needs to order yardage separately.
Fabric requirements are on the blog. I don't have them printed out right here. So I can't answer that. Can you pull them up on the screen?
I don't think I have them today.
Okay, so I would say go to the blog and look, but usually backing is not the same as finishing. So when it says fat quarters for finishing, that is for the half square triangles that go around the edge right here. So if you do the upper camera, oh yeah, and I can read that. Okay, so the finishing fabrics that are called for extra, that are the 8 prints, are for right here. Just for right here. If it says okay, so if you're looking at the 6-inch block, it says 18 fat quarters, that's for the blocks. The 3.5 yards, okay, you're looking at the 9-inch. Okay, so for the 9-inch, if you're gonna do the 9-inch, you need 18 fat quarters, that is for all the blocks. The 5.5 yards, it says blocks and finishing, that is for here, right here. And the print squares is also for right here. The backing is totally separate. So this is your blocks, and then we consider this your finishing.
Okay, so that would not be included in the fat quarter she ordered?
No,
Okay.
because the fat quarters are for like right here
Okay.
and right here.
Gotcha.
Sorry, I didn't know that off the top of my head. I haven't looked at that in a while.
Okay. And we had a question from Ilse Rojas. I know Kimberly uses triangle paper, but Kimberly, do you have a tip for the points in the corners when I sew them? They can kind of twitch on the machine the smaller they go.
Okay.
So I guess if you're doing the traditional way?
I would say just start, maybe do a leader and an ender. So some machines do better with leaders and enders, and that just kind of gets your thread going, and that's just like a little piece of a scrap. Like you could just take this little piece right here and just stitch on it, get your stitches going, and then just chain piece and keep going. That will help you. I don't feel like with the Juki I need it, but sometimes if I use my baby lock, I do feel like I need it. So leaders and enders sometimes help with that. That's what I would suggest.
All right. And then we do have a lot of super chats that have been coming in, so I'll go through a couple right now.
Okay.
We had one from Lori Roth at the beginning of the live stream for $5, and Lori put a little pair that's like dancing like this, and it's got those
Bazookas?
Yeah, those. Yeah. It's really cute. Thank you, Lori.
Thank you.
And then our next super chat was from Valeria Bauer for $19.99, and she put the dancing pair with the top hat saying, "You are amazing."
Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I'm doing, and I hope to not confuse you. This right here, you can either cut rectangles and piece them together and chain piece them, and squares and piece them together. But to save time, I'm going to chain piece this. So I'm going to kind of guess on what I need, and I probably won't, let's see. I probably need 2 or 3 strips. I'm not exactly sure how many, so I'm just going to cut 3. So I need B's, C's, and E's are all 1.5 inches wide. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually not even going to cut them 1.5. I'm going to cut them a little bit bigger. And actually here I would just guess. So instead of doing the math, I'm just going to guess. And I'm not going to cut 1.5. I'm going to do a little bit over 1.5, like 1 3/4, and I'll show you why. And I'm just going to do 3 strips because that's my guess. I'm trying to do this as much like I do at home here. And this is literally what I do. Sometimes I would plan, but here I'm just going to do 3 strips. This little piece I'm not going to be able to do anything with, so I will cut that off. And then I'm going to put this in my little scrap bucket that I have over here. I'm keeping all of my scraps. So I just kind of keep them underneath my blocks. So I'll keep it all together. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch with a 1/4 inch seam on both sides. I'm going to just cut, I'm going to sew real fast, and I put a 1/4 inch foot on, and I went back to a 2.0 stitch, and I'm going to go super fast. And I don't have to be as accurate with my 1/4 inch seam because I'm cheating. And I'll show you why. I don't think I really need all 3, but I think I'm going to need 2.5. So I've got these little strips done. Now I find that it is much quicker to just do all these strips and then subcut them down and then go from there. But if you're a beginner, this might be a little much, I'm not sure. So here I've got my half square triangles. Now you can see how nice and flat they are with my clapper. And I'm going to press this down flat. Press to one side and then press open. And when you press, you just want to make sure this is nice and flat right here, and it's not like a duck pleat, so that it doesn't like come over.
I need a little graphic or something that comes up on the side that's like, "No duck pleat."
I know, and I think I made that word up, so everybody gets confused, but that's just what I call it because it looks like a duck bill. Now I'm gonna just.
Oh.
Yeah,
I
it looks
get
like
now.
yeah. I just made that up.
I never knew why you called it that.
Oh, it's just one of my made-up words.
It's good.
This iron's pretty hot today. So I'm gonna put this little thing on the side and go ahead and put this down while I do the last one. And I did finish Designer Mystery last weekend, so that was super exciting. I finished it on Sunday, like at 2 o'clock. So I'm super excited that that is done. Gina is going to be quilting it today. And so I can show you kind of a sneak peek of it in a week or 2 when we're done, when she's done with it. So now I've got these strips, and you're thinking, okay, what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to turn it into this and this, but the first thing I'm going to do is trim it down. Because, like I said, I wasn't paying attention to my seam. I just want to go fast. So it originally was cut 1.5. So if you take 1.5, you take off your 1/4 inch seam that you just sewed, You can trim that down 1/4 inch away from that seam, and I've wasted so little, but it's going to be more accurate because it's going to be exactly 2.5. So now this is going to be 2.5 inches. And I'm going to go ahead and start with this one. Now I just need 2 pieces that are 1.5 by 2.5. So from here, I will cut a 3-inch and a 1.5. These two are going to become right here, what I've done right here, and I save time. But now I need to cut 4 of these that are 2.5 by 2.5. So now I'm going to cut, well, normally I would cut with, let's see, this is normally, I would cut a 5 and then a 2.5. I always cut bigger and then trim down. So I've got a 5 and a 2.5. And then see, I only need 1 more. I didn't need 3. And then this I need to trim down right here to 2.5. It's just going to be more of an exact, you're going to get more of an exact because it's like I don't know how to explain it, but it's just going to give you a more exact result doing it this way. And yes, it is extra steps. So this I don't need, but I'm not going to throw it away. I'm going to put it in my box of scraps right here. And then who knows what I'll do with it. I might put it on the back. Who knows what I'll do. I might throw it away. Never know. I'll just put it in here, and when I need it, I need it. So now the only thing left to do before I put my block together is to sew these together real quick. So I will put them together and look to see if they're lined up. That's not lined up. Can you zoom in a little bit?
Yeah.
Thanks. So you can see that it's not lined up. So I'm going to just move it over, put a pin in. I do my pins straight. Some people do them, some people when they pin what do you call it, diagonally. You can pin whichever way you like. I'm going to stitch this real quick. And I'm going to look, and it looks like it matches, so I'm going to press this, and then we'll put our block together.
Yay.
Yeah, I did all of them. Okay, I did cut one of these wrong.
Oh.
One of those is too short. I did something wrong. I'll fix it. And that's kind of sometimes what happens because I go really fast. I cut pretty fast. Okay, so. Da-da-da. I usually count, like at home, I'll count to 10. Sometimes my kids are like, why are you counting? I'm like, oh, it's okay. So here I can tell, look, I cut one of those wrong. So one of them's too big and one of them's too small. So 2.5, that one's wrong. 2.5, 2.5. Okay, so who knows what I did? I'm gonna find my strip again. And cut this down. And cut another one. I don't exactly know what I did, but that's what happens when you get on camera. 2.5. So now we can lay out our pieces. And this one, you can have a lot of fun with it. So I'm going to show you some different things you can do. So I'm going to lay this out the way that Sherri McConnell designed it. This is the wrong one. And I just follow my diagram. Oh, and I forgot to cut that. Oh no, I didn't. It's in my clapper.
Yes.
It's right here. So there's my block. And all of my oranges are kind of making a circle, but you can change it. So you could do this. And you would have more of a white circle. To go further, you could do this. And you could have a totally different look. So this would be kind of an inverse of this. So before you sew it together, you know, you can change it up. You don't have to do it exactly how we designed it. The whole point of this is to have fun, to, you know, just learn some techniques. I hope I don't confuse you too much. But I sew really fast, and this is how I do it, is I use any kind of tricks that I've come up with. So now I'm going to double check to make sure I've got it the right way. This really doesn't matter in the center. I don't think that really matters which way it goes. And I'm going to sew down a 1/4 inch seam, and then we're going to press. So when I'm doing this, I will put them together, and since they line up perfectly, I'm not going to pin. If they didn't, I would pin. So I'm going to stitch. I'm not going to cut apart. I'm going to leave them chained together. And I'm going to press. So I'll put these over here. So again, I leave them chained together. When you're chain piecing, you want to leave a little gap between them. If you chain and you don't, and you're like this, like if you don't leave a little bit of thread between, it's going to be hard to iron. So that would be one tip. Yeah, because it'll be like, if you're ironing, Lily, it'll like, I don't know, it'll bump up.
Okay.
So here, I'm just going to press to one side. And again, you can press however you would like. I'm going to just press to one side, press open, let it sit a little bit, and then we'll add the next side. And if you're doing a lot of chain piecing, doing this technique will really help. Like if you're doing a really big quilt, it will really help. So I'm going to count a little bit. I'm going to put the bigger clapper on now. Set it aside, and then we'll come back to it in a second. So let me know what questions you'll have. While that, I like that to heat maybe a minute or so. I usually, so when I did think about that this weekend when I was sewing the designer mystery. I thought, okay, tell people how many seconds. So when I'm pressing and pressing to one side, I usually will leave the iron on it 5 to 10 seconds. When I'm putting this here, I like to leave it about 60 seconds to 2 minutes. So it's a great time for me, like if I need to go to the bathroom, I run to the bathroom, but while this is sitting here. So this is a really important part of what I do. Now, you don't have to do this. You don't have to use this. I quilted for 20 years without one. And when they came out, my sales rep at Riley Blake was like, oh my gosh, you have to use it. And I was like, what is she talking about? I didn't understand it. And then when I started using it, I understood it. So it's kind of one of those things that you don't need. But once you use it, it's hard to not use it, I guess. So I'll lay that back out, cut these apart. Now, if you left these chained together and tried to sew without cutting apart, it gets kind of tricky. So here I'm just gonna put these together. They're lining up so I don't have to pin. Some days my stuff lines up, some days it doesn't, so it depends kind of how it's going that day. So let me know, are there any questions, Lily?
Yes.
Okay.
I was making sure the sewing machine wasn't going. From Marilyn Dumas, does it matter if you sew down or if you sew across? Like when you're building the block, which direction you chain piece?
No, it doesn't matter.
From Amy Leach, when are the clappers likely to be back in stock?
I think one of them is coming back in stock soon, and the other one is December. I can't remember which is which. There is also a version of this by, tell me the company, Lily?
Steady Betty.
Steady Betty. And that one is in stock, and I have all three at my house. And you could also go to Home Depot and make your own. It is, I think it's maple, is that right, Lily? It's a certain kind of wood, so you have to, all that matters is it's a certain kind of wood because the wood takes the heat out.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
And
I think it is maple.
I think it's maple.
Because then oak is too soft and it could get sap on it, I believe.
Yeah, so,
And then a few people were asking if you could actually demo with the rotary cutter real quick to show how it works. Especially like how you unlock it, open it up.
after we're done.
Yes.
Okay, let's do that after we're done with the block. So here I'm just gonna go here and I'm gonna sew this real quick, and then we'll do a demo on that, and then I'll also show you what you would do if you want to do the chain piecing like I did on the 3-inch or the 9-inch. So I'm just in the intersections that how do you say, intersect, or that the seams need to meet, I pin those. And then stitch. Now here you can press or you can add. Okay, my points don't match up exactly, so I want you to zoom in. I'm not going to actually unstitch it today.
Oh.
I'm going to leave it today. I've decided today is going to be...
You can zoom in a lot more if you want.
We'll see. Okay, so this lines up, but right here, it's off by 1/8 of an inch.
Can you center it?
Uh-huh.
And then I can zoom in real tight on it.
Okay, so...
okay.
So right here, that does not match. See how it's off? And that's why. Actually, that is why. Because this bumped up. So I am going to take it out. That's why it did that. So I was like, why didn't it match up? So something happened there. Usually I wouldn't take it out because it's just orange. I mean, nobody can tell. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to take it out because I don't want this bump. This bump, if you don't take it out, when you iron, you will have a crease right here. When you iron it flat, you're going to have a little crease, and that crease is not going to come out. So I am going to, look, I'm getting so much better with my tools because Lily's getting me all organized.
And Ashley.
Yes, Lily and Ashley are setting it up so I don't get so disorganized. At home this weekend, I swear I've got to buy some new seam rippers because I was seam ripping like crazy this weekend. I usually don't. But I think because I was in such a hurry, I was needing to seam rip, and I couldn't find the seam ripper ever, and so I'm going to have to buy a couple more so that they're kind of everywhere. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It's always hard for me to seam rip on the camera. I think it's hard. I think it's because of my vision. It's hard to see.
I was going to say the seam ripper is also camera shy.
Well, I think it's just hard for me to see. My eyesight is so bad. At home, I'm like, I'm putting it right on my face. Oh. So yeah, I will show the rotary cutter.
Yeah, I think people were just wanting to see how the whole mechanism worked.
Yeah, I'll show it. This is... Okay, so hopefully this will just pull out right here. This is why I need to get that eye surgery. So I can see on camera. Mm-hmm. Several people have emailed me about it. I had radiokeratotomy when I was 18 because it was free on our insurance at the time. Mm-hmm. But because it was a much older, it's not laser, it's the older one. Your vision will get progressively worse once you hit 40. Mm-hmm. So I think I'm gonna have the well, I don't know. I'm not gonna have it until the world is back to normal, but where you can get lens replacement, and then when I get older I won't have to have my cataracts removed because I know I'll have them. Like, there's zero doubt. Everyone in my family has them. I have, yeah, it's not good. Okay, So now I'm going to go and I'm going to actually press this with my iron so that that little wrinkle comes out. Line it up again. Sew it. Now, if I was in a huge hurry, I wouldn't redo this. I told Gina when I sent her Designer Mystery, I said, oh, this is not perfect. Because I didn't have a ton of time, so I was a little bit less lax. Okay, so that's better. Now I'm going to go ahead and just add the other side to save time. Sometimes when I'm doing a block, I'll stop and press and add. It just depends. Today, I just feel like I'm going to go a little bit faster. But you can do whatever. It's kind of, I want to show you how I do different things on different days. It kind of depends. If I have deadlines, I do it one way. If I'm just doing it for fun, I just do whatever. So you don't have to just do whatever, basically. Whatever floats your boat that day. So pinning, stitching. Okay, now see, I'm telling you, today is a mess. So look what happened.
Oh no.
So I gotta fix that. I don't know, my sewing today is not great. My sewing skills are...
It's because Mercury's in retrograde.
Something's off. When I was driving to work, I was like, something is not... What is Mercury? Is that the planet?
Planets go into retrograde, and Mercury will be in retrograde until November 2nd or 3rd.
Okay, well then, good. I don't have to sew until then.
It's that, yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Also, just because a few people were sharing in the chat, we're asking us, everyone to tell us what your favorite snack is while you are sewing, or what you do when you're also seam pressing and using the clapper and you walk away for a sec. What's your favorite thing to go do?
Oh, that's funny. So I usually go to the bathroom and I usually check my email. You can ask Lilly because I answer my email all the time.
That's true.
I will say, I have been not doing it as much on the weekends as I used to. I used to work 24 hours a day. And I'm going to press to the inside. Doesn't really matter which way. Yeah, my sewing skills on this is not great. My seams don't match up, but that's okay. I noticed there was a lot less traffic today. I got here super early. I was like, what is going on?
Oh.
I was like, is it a holiday?
I think the traffic was happening earlier in the day. Because I had a lot of traffic very early.
Oh, I had like none. But I go the back roads.
Oh, that's
I don't
true.
get on 35.
Ooh, wow.
Ever. Ever since I had that accident, I don't get on 35. And when Kevin gets on it, I'm like, I get so scared.
It's not fun. Yeah, if I took the back roads, it would just add 10 minutes.
Yeah, it adds 10 minutes to mine.
It's not that bad.
But I don't know, ever since I had that car accident, it hurts so bad that I'm just like, I'm getting on that road. And when I'm sewing, one thing that I do is I watched some good TV this week I can tell you about.
Yes.
So Netflix released, I wanted to text you, Lily, but I try not to text y'all.
Oh.
So David Letterman came out with his My Next Guest, and I watched it all in one night because I went to bed like at midnight, which I never do. It was Lizzo, and it was Lizzo, Robert Downey Jr. Oh my goodness. It was so good. How could I forget right now? Kim Kardashian. She told a really good story in it. And I don't even really, honestly, like Kim Kardashian is not like, my daughter watches her. I think she's beautiful, but I don't like really know much about her. So that was actually kind of interesting for me because I didn't know much about her. I knew a lot about Robert Downey Jr. He had some funny stories. Ooh. Lizzo, okay, so he asked her, what does "Why Men Gotta Be Great Till They're Not Great" or whatever that song is?
What does it mean?
What does it mean?
Yeah,
and she answered it, and it didn't make any sense. So I still don't know what it means. I still don't know what it means.
It's like men are nice until like they get power or fame.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what it
better
meant.
in life, and then they're not great to you anymore.
Oh, okay.
I think that's what it means.
And then who was the other one? Okay, Kim Kardashian. Oh, my favorite, Dave Chappelle. It was so good.
Oh,
I love Dave Chappelle.
yes.
So that was actually good. I like to watch anything that is like documentary style. I don't care their politics. I don't care any of that. Like, this is not about that. It is because he always has people that are left. So some of you people are going to say, oh, you're whatever, but it was just so interesting. I love the way he asked questions. And then Unresolved Mysteries came out, I think yesterday or the day before, with new episodes. So I've been watching that. Okay. And Lilly showed me how I can use Spotify for my podcast. So now I'm deleted my Apple app and I'm starting over because I had too many on my Apple app. So here's my block, and I've got a couple of, thread coming off. And you can see, zoom in a little bit, Lilly. I'm going to show you how they don't line up. So right here, this does not line up. Look at that. That is not.
Oh my goodness.
That is way off. But see, it's all orange. So nobody's going to know. If it was like white and something, I would maybe change it. But I just am not. Usually at home, though, I would have fixed that. So now I'm going to trim, and I'm just going to make sure that when I trim, my 1/4-inch line touches the tip of my half square triangle, so that when you cut, you're not cutting off your tip. And the goal of this is just to get the little edges off. Makes it a little bit easier when you're piecing it together at the end. This is a step I probably never take out. I usually always do this. I kind of like it. It just kind of makes me feel good. So now I'm going to show you all the blocks I've done that look like this, that are from this collection, just to show you real quick. And then I'm going to move the sewing machine real quick to the side.
I can move it if you want.
It's all right. I'll just move it right there.
Okay.
There. Now we have more room. Okay. And then I'll show you all the rest that y'all asked about. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do on this is make a little table runner that's just long and skinny like this. I'm just going to keep going. So can you zoom out a tiny bit? Kind of what I'm thinking I'm going to do is, well, see, I've got too much dark, so we'll switch. So see how some of your blocks are darker, so I would consider these two darker, these lighter. So I'm gonna keep going, but what I'm gonna do is do a long skinny table runner like this way, horizontal, and then I'm gonna add a border that way and a border this way, and it's gonna go off of one of my tables. It's just gonna hang off the sides, and it's just gonna have a border here and a border here. So that's what I'm thinking I'm gonna do with these. My other option, because my table is about 12 inches wide, is to do like this and just keep adding. But I'm thinking that this kind of fits the style a little bit more. And before I sewed them together, I would play with my placement. But you can see, like, I've got 3 blocks that are pretty light, 2 blocks that are pretty dark. So I'm gonna wait until I have an assortment. Well, I need many more. And that's kind of what I'm gonna do with my first extra project. That's kind of what I'm thinking I'm gonna do. I keep changing my mind. So I just put them back in my little box. This is a little box you can get at Target. It's in a weird section of Target. It's like by the wedding section. So I don't know if they're wedding boxes, but I just put, yeah, they're in the wedding section.
Okay.
But I don't go to the wedding section. So, anyway, Emma found them for me a long time ago.
Okay.
And so I take this home. So I take this home and prep for next week. Now I'm going to show you a little bit about the rotary cutter, and I'm going to talk to you about if you want to do the other sizes. So I'm going to find some fabric. I'll pull from my box. So for the rotary cutter, there are lots of options for a rotary cutter. In our studio, we only have these two because I cannot use the others. So there are other ones that do not have this. So this is a lock. So when that's up, when you go like this, the blade doesn't come out. When you click it, it does. I do tend to put it on lock because if I drop it, I don't want this to go on my foot because it will happen. So I do use this lock a lot. I probably don't use it on set, but at home I do. And the way this one is called Ergonomic Pacific Blue, and this is just the Ergonomic Original. You just go like this, and when you put your ruler, you put your blade right on the edge. There are other ones that do not have this lock, and that don't have, they're more of just a straight, yeah, we can show that little tiny one that's over there for an example, but we don't keep them in here because I literally cannot use them. I have never figured out, and I've tried, and Lily can attest that I don't have a clue how to use them.
I'll give it a good try.
So there's this one. You can get this in any size, but this is the traditional. This is less expensive, but you basically up and down with your thumb. Mm-hmm. But for some reason, when I go to do this, watch, it's harder for me to get it's harder for me because the way the wrist is, whereas if you do this, I feel like I can just go like that. Mm-hmm. So it's something to do with that. Also, this is what I started on. Some of the ones I have at home I've had for like 20 years. Wow. Okay. Now, if you were gonna do this right here in the 1-inch size, if you look at B, E, C, and F, they're all cut 1 inch wide. So you could start with 1-inch strips or 1 1/4-inch strips and trim them down. On mine, I did 1 3/4. The pattern calls for 1 1/2. And for this one, it calls for 2 inch. So you would cut 2 1/4 and then trim down. If you want to do it the way that I do it, or a version of what I did. So that's what I have on the Sewcialites, but I'm happy to answer any questions on that before I move everything out of the way.
Yes. I'm going to go through some super chats first,
okay.
And then we have a couple questions about true crime.
Oh, okay, yes. I know what you're going to ask already. I already know the question. I bet I could guess.
Oh, man. Okay, we had a super chat from Kathy Deason for $20 earlier in the chat, and people were saying that they would like to see me act out what she's doing, so I'll do it when I do my segment later.
Wait, my what? What'd I do?
No. They were talking about they want.
Her little acting?
Yes,
yeah.
My acting.
I was like, is she going to act out my rotary cutter? I'm horrible at that.
That's funny. No, it's a little zombie, I think. Zombie girl. She's got a ponytail. And then she like shakes her head and smiles, and when she smiles, her eyes turn into stars, and then her hair turns into a giant heart.
Oh my
above
goodness.
her head. So that's our first super chat for now. And then we got another one from Faye T for $19.99, and they put a little pair that says "Thanks for being you" with the little mirror.
Thank you.
Going like that. And then we got a super chat from Sprocket for £10, I believe.
Oh.
Correct me if I'm wrong. And it's got a little fox with a little heart, and it's holding it like this.
Oh, thank you.
It's very cute. And then we had a few new YouTube members. Kim Martin is a new YouTube member. Yay. And then we got a super chat from Deb Summers for $4.99. And Deb says, I really appreciate all of your instructions. I never miss Wednesdays and Fridays with Fat Quarter Shop.
Thank you. So on Wednesdays, we have another channel. It's called Fat Quarter Shop Floss Tube. And so definitely subscribe over there.
Yes.
And that's just all cross stitch. So, but some people I think watch just to hear my commentary. I will tell you a funny story. Sunday, so I got up super early. So I'll tell you this whole story. So Kevin's birthday was Friday, so we went to dinner. Oh my goodness, I thought I was going to have a heart attack. We went to this restaurant I've only been once before, at lunch by myself. So I thought, okay, this is just a nice restaurant. It's kind of farm to table, but they have steaks. So that's Kevin's thing. He likes steaks. If we're going to have that's what he will eat on a special occasion. So anytime we've ever booked anything for birthdays, we go steak for him. So it's more of like a farm to table. So we went, and there was 0 social distancing, and I about had a heart attack, and I was like, we're just going to get in, we're going to get out. It was super uncomfortable. I was freaking out. Kevin thought it was fine, so he felt like they were social distancing. I did not. That's okay. But if it was not his birthday, we would have walked out. I can tell you that. Absolutely would have walked out, but it was his birthday, so I was like, I'm going to keep it together. I'm not going to, throw a fit. I did think about doing a review and just saying, hey, you're not social distancing, but then I thought, no, it's not worth it. Mm-hmm. I don't need to do that. So then Saturday, I worked on Designer Mystery, and then I went with Kevin to 2 guitar stores. There's some vintage guitar stores here. I did that. So when we came home, I still didn't finish Designer Mystery. I stayed up forever. Well, Sunday morning, thankfully, I got up and I was sewing, and I was in my pajamas and my hair. I just throw my hair up. I didn't even brush it. I hadn't brushed my teeth. I was like, whatever. And then Will came in my sewing room, and he was like, Mom, somebody's here. And I was like, what? He's like, Mom, come, somebody's here. And I was like, okay. And it was a lady, and Piggy had gotten out. So we have a back gate, and I guess with the wind or something, it opened, and they're building a house next door kind of, but behind me. It's hard to explain because it's a weird lot. And he was over there in the where they were doing construction. And so she was like, oh, ma'am, I don't want to wake you up, but I know that it's your dog, and he's at the construction site. So I'm in my pajamas. Oh my gosh. Will's in his pajamas. We're run out there, and Will had gone to the wrong street. I was like, Will, she said the construction. So Will's I don't even know where he was. He didn't put his shoes on. I had on shoes with pajamas, and we had to get the dog home, and he was I didn't even yell at him. I was just like, please come home. So I don't know, and I don't think my boys opened the gate because they hadn't gone. When they walk, sometimes they'll come in through that gate. They hadn't done that, so thankfully she came to the house and told me, but oh my goodness, that dog. And he was when I tried to get him, it's this weird lot, so it goes way up. So he had gone way up, and then there was all these ditches, and he was getting in and out of them. I was like, dog, just come home, please. Poor thing. He'd probably been out for a long time.
Yeah. Oh.
Poor thing.
Getting to know the neighborhood. Oh.
I'm I don't know what he was doing. I think he was just exploring, but I was like, if I have to go up that hill in these pajamas, and I was sweating, trying to, just running to get him. Oh my goodness. It was quite but luckily the lady knew that it was our dog.
Yeah.
So I was so grateful. I think he would have come home, but I don't know how long we would have taken to know that he was gone.
All right. Couple new YouTube members. Kim Hewitt. Welcome, Kim.
Thank you.
Another new YouTube member, Valerie Yanowski. Welcome, Valerie. And then we got a super chat from Amy Johnson for $49.99. And
you.
She put, yeah, that's huge. Thank you so much. And Amy put a heart, and it's not in motion for me right now, so I will act this out later for Kimberly when I see it a little better.
Okay.
And then 2 more new YouTube members, Darlene Wolf. Welcome, Darlene. And Robin Williams. Welcome, Robin Williams.
Thank you.
Question from Teresa. Are there any plans to sell other binders like the Sewcialites one?
Yeah, we're probably going to do that for going forward for our charity quilts and our free sew-alongs. Our charity quilt this year does not have a binder, but starting in 2022, it probably will. And then Lori is doing them now with every fabric collection. So I believe her first one starts with flea market. Yeah, so we'll do a couple every year, just a few. This one's super nice, though. I was very nervous about doing a binder just because you don't really know what you're going to get with a paper product as much as you do with a fabric product because we're not in the business of stationery. So we don't know as much about it, but It's great, and I love it, and it's been great taking it home and back, and I can always find it. That's the good thing, because I have a lot going on in my sewing room, and I did clean it. I took a picture of Will. He won't let me show you, though. Last week when I did Designer Mystery, I used, the pattern is written to use the Eleanor Burns Flying Geese ruler, and so you have to draw the lines. So I have this ruler, so he, for 45 minutes, drew lines. And he told me I couldn't show his picture.
Oh. From Susanna Solano, is it better to iron towards the dark or middle?
It depends. If you don't want to press open, press to where there is the least resistance. So if you lay, like if you just throw your piece down, it'll usually flop one way. And that way is the way I would press.
Okay, and from Morgan M, question, how do you get your points to come out? I'm struggling to get mine to come out.
So my points today were horrible, but normally for accuracy, I do the starching method. I learned that method from Lisa Bonjean of Stitch. So she's with the Primitive Gatherings, and she has a new channel called Stitch. I learned it from her, but starching, setting my seams before I press to one side or open, and pinning.
And from Stephanie Ward, what is going on with the Scott Peterson case? I keep seeing his name in the news again.
Okay, so Scott Peterson was convicted of killing his wife, Lacey, and his unborn son, Connor, in like 2005 or 2007, sometime around there. There was a juror. Her name was, her last name is Nice, and she was called, during the trial, she was called Strawberry Shortcake because she had pink hair. And she did write a book afterwards, so you could read that book. But when she was giving her jury form, on the form it said, "Have you ever been part of a lawsuit?" She said no. Scott's defense attorneys have gone in, and she had a domestic violence. She had filed a domestic violence report against, like, a boyfriend's ex-girlfriend or something. So she considered that, I'm trying to be all legal here, she considered that as just a, filing something with the court, not a lawsuit. So they're saying it went to the Supreme Court, and they're saying that she should have disclosed that. But if you go back and you watch that trial, Mark Garagos wanted her on that trial, and he said he did everything he could to get her on that jury. Now ask yourself, why did he do that? Maybe he knew. And maybe he knew that later they would appeal it because his firm is representing him. He is in trial today, and it's going to be a 5-minute proceeding, and it's basically going to be he's going to be able to pick if he wants to have a state-appointed attorney or if he wants to use the Garagos team, which rumor is he's going to use the Garagos team, which he's an amazing lawyer. But what is in question is not his guilt or innocence. What is in question is the death penalty. So he is trying to get the death penalty taken off for killing his child and his wife, is what he was convicted of. So he will not get out of jail. It is just to see if he can get life in prison instead of the death penalty. So there's my legal analysis of today.
Is that the question you thought I was going to ask?
There's a couple more, but yeah, there's a lot going on. Ghislaine Maxwell, she had fought to keep her depositions private. They came out yesterday. It's 465 pages. I've listened to a lot of people on them. She's a great lawyer, I'll say that. She didn't answer any questions. And she got away with not answering any questions. And I guess that's what you get when you have a lot of money.
All right, and then we had a funny comment from Lisa Clark. She said, "Piggy's Big Adventure." LOL, love it.
Oh, I know. Oh my goodness. So I'm thinking about actually on that back gate maybe putting like something on there. So I talked to Kevin about it, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll look." Because Kevin was like, "How did he get out?" I was like, "Oh, poor thing." I mean, he doesn't usually get out. So it's just very, it was more just a cluster mess of, if I have to go up that hill, I'm gonna fall down. I'm very clumsy, and it's like a steep, like the lot is weird. It just goes from like nothing, goes way up. So I was like, I don't know how I'm going to get up there to get him. But he came. I just said, Piggy, come on. And he came.
Oh,
Luckily.
that's good.
After he went through a ditch. And I was like, you're going to break your leg, dog. Because they have like a big ditch.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
I don't know. I don't know. Okay. So after I finished Designer Mystery, that was Sunday, I had a lot of leftover fabrics. So I'm going to preface this with, this is what I made with my leftover fabrics from Designer Mystery. You might have enough, you might not if you sign up for Designer Mystery, but this is fun. I did this on Tuesday, and it only took me an hour. Everything. Not the starching, but everything else took me an hour to cut it out, everything. So Lori's brand new book is called Prim and Proper, and last week I showed y'all this beautiful pillow right here. And I was thinking, oh my goodness, that would match, since I'm going to put my Designer Mystery quilt in my bedroom, that would be great for my new chair. So I took my leftovers and I made this. So this is the pillow top. It took 1 hour. Everything here was leftover. And one tip that I will give you is when you add the outside borders, you see how perfect it is? I cut them a 1/4 inch bigger, added them, trimmed down. So that's how this comes out so nicely, is I just made these 4 bigger. And then this is leftover, this is definitely not leftover from Designer Mystery. I just had this. This is the same collection. But I wanted my backing to be kind of a white, but I didn't have enough left over, so this is what I'm going with. Instructions for the envelope back are in the book, and I put a top stitch. Can you zoom in? I just did like a really fat top stitch, just so there would be like a nice stitch when you put it. There you go. Can you see? I matched my fabric so good, my thread. So I used an Arthur red, did a top stitch, and I'm sending this to Gina today. And so what she'll do is she'll do the envelope back like this after she quilts this, and then she's going to put my binding on, which is this, and this is leftover. So everything here is leftover. This, you will not have enough for backing, I can tell you that right now. Normally I would have done this fabric on the back, but I didn't have enough. So this is kind of another example of, I got this new book, oh my gosh, it's so cute, look how good it looks in Fig Tree. So that was fun. I made this on Tuesday. Let me know if you'll have any questions. This is the Strawberries and Rhubarb collection that is shipping in 2021.
It's an excellent name for a fabric collection.
Yes.
I like saying rhubarb.
I've never even had that.
I haven't either. It's just a nice word.
I didn't know it was a food until like it was in a fabric. I think it's like you can use it in a jelly, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had it. But I don't think it's grown in Texas, so that's why. I don't think they grow it here, so I think that's why. So yeah, I'm going to send this to Gina today. I'm so excited.
We have a new YouTube member that just joined us, McMac. Welcome, McMac.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, so today we also have a Martingale trunk show to show you. I'm going to take a quick little break so she can do her little, she's going to do like live emojis.
Oh my gosh.
That's what it is. Okay, but first I have to find my mask before I leave to go to the bathroom. Oh my goodness, this happens every time. Oh, there it is. I thought about getting like a little, okay, this is what I was thinking about. We have these new, we have these new like little clippers. Not clippers, they're for your scissors, they're tags.
Scissor ID, magnetic clips.
Scissor ID magnetic clips. So this is what I'm thinking of doing.
Oh, sorry.
Is doing this, so that it's always there, because I can never find my mask. So that is what I'm going to be doing, or put it on my little hook it here.
Oh,
see? And then your mask, fancy. You can always find it. It's always in the same spot, because I'm having a hard time keeping up with my mask. So this is what I'm going to do with this.
Yes. Just careful with the magnet if you put your phone in your pocket close to it.
Oh. Okay.
Or credit cards.
Oh. Okay. But I can put it right here.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to go to the bathroom. She's going to do some little emojis and show you her fabric. And I'll be right back. But I don't know where to put my shoes. Oh, I put my shoes over here.
Oh, yeah, here. We'll go the other way around.
Sorry. It's okay. My shoes.
Quilting intermission time. Hello everyone. Give me 1 second to get myself situated here. My name is Lily. If you haven't met me already, I am the videographer here at the Fat Quarter Shop, and this tall pile of stuff is my projects for Journey to Nebula. Journey to Nebula, if you do not know, is a skill builder series hosted by Jaybird Quilts leading up to a block of the month called Nebula, which is being done by Tula Pink and Jaybird next year. We have spots available for that block of the month at Fat Quarter Shop if you're interested, but this is the progress of my journey to getting to Nebula. So I'm going to show you guys what I finished this last week. This is my Jawbreaker pillow. And I'm going to go to top camera to show you guys some detail here. Okay, so I am using the Liana Fabric Collection by Kimberly Kite of Ruby Star Society. And in this one, I did some basic quilting around here, just like straight lines in the darker area, so it's not as easily seen. But I tried my hand at a little free motion quilting on my little sewing machine at home. And they're just like swirlies. They're not perfect, but I've always wanted to get into free motion quilting, so I thought I'd try a little bit. So that was my project that I finished this past weekend, Jawbreaker. And then, just to show you what's been going on, this was my Seaside Table Runner. It was the first project we did as part of the Journey to Nebula. These are all made from the same fabric collection, so they're all going to kind of match around my house. It's going to be real nice. I originally did it with the intention of picking kind of fall, autumny colors, but my idea of calm and fall and autumn is still pretty busy fabrics. And I think that's just part of my personality. Here we have Lucky Charm, which I finished a couple weeks ago. Another pillow. This one's nice and fluffy. And I think this one was a little bit tighter than the Jawbreaker one, so that's why it's sticking up more. And then for this week, we've been working on piecing for Rock Candy. And Rock Candy actually uses the Sidekick ruler right here. And I haven't pieced it yet. I've started to. There's little chunks that are rows that are pieced here. I realized I started piecing the rows not according to the pattern, but I think it's going to work out just fine. And this is my layout for the rest of it. And that's what it'll kind of look like at the end. And then I also have the Hex and More ruler just because we've been using it for some of the other patterns, like the Lucky Charm and the Jawbreaker pillow that I showed you guys. So that's been my journey to Nebula thus far. And emoji that, I forget who sent it. Feel free to let me know who sent it. But it's this little zombie, and it's on the YouTube side because it was the super chat. But she's going like, but then her like hair goes into a heart, which I have very short hair, first of all, but second of all, I don't think I could make it go into a heart even if I tried right now. And let's see. From Barbara D. LeRae, she says, Lily, what foot did you use for your free motion quilting? So my machine, I have a Burnett B38 at home, and it came with a little, like the round foot. I don't remember what it's called, but it's the round foot. It has the spring on it, and it's the only free motion foot that it came with, so I just used that. And Bonita Nan says, do you find the rulers are easy to use? I do, actually. I was a little concerned because I am spoiled by using Creative Grids rulers, and these don't have the little grippies on the back, so I was worried they were going to slide around, but it's been absolutely fine. They're great. They're easy to follow. And I didn't realize until I started doing this so long that there's so much versatility in everything you can do with them, and even things that you can kind of come up with on your own using them. And I think, oh, Lori Holt says it looks awesome. Thank you, Lori. And none of these patterns have Y seams. I see a few of you asking about them. That's the beauty of it. It's all in how you piece it. And let's see, Kathy Crackers is asking, I have my rulers and patterns and just need to start. How long from cutting to end does each project take? 3 to 4 hours to piece the top, to cutting to piecing the top. Maybe a little bit longer for the table runner. Took a little longer because it's longer. It's got more fabric in it. But yeah, it doesn't take that long. It's nice that they're like smaller projects, and we've been doing one every other week, so it's a lot more manageable than just trying to do them all in one go. I will be honest though, this past week I worked on Jawbreaker and the Raw Candy one because I was falling behind, and that wasn't even too overwhelming at all. Oh, maybe it is a darning foot.
They're asking when you quilted what foot you used.
Yeah, it was like that free motion foot that I was telling y'all about. I think it's called a darning foot or a hopping foot. Okay. Yeah, it's the one that has like a little circle. But yes, that is what I have been up to on the quilting side. There's also a couple of projects Kimberly's showing later on that I've been working on as well that were kind of hush-hush top secret for a little bit. And the last thing I just want to do, I want to give my mom a shout out because she gave me pretty much the whole outfit I'm wearing. She gave me this shirt and she gave me this skirt, and these both used to be hers. And one day I told her I liked them and she was like, "Do you want them?" And I'm like, "Mom, just because I say I like it doesn't mean I want it," but I did want it. And she knew that, so she gifted them to me very recently. So thank you, Mom. And yes, let me put my mask back on and I will let Kimberly come back up here. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. Intermission is over.
Thank you, Lily. It's so complicated. I was looking and we have different things back there, and there's like one screen. They're all three different, and so I don't understand the difference. I was trying to figure out. I wanted to let you guys know that Barb and Mary of Me and My Sister have a brand new book. It's published by Martingale. It's called Third Time's a Charm Again. I'm going to flip through it. We do have a coupon for this book. So these are all the quilts that are in it. And I'm just going to flip through all the pages. So this is, and I'm going to show them to you in person. So this is Valerie. These are all Charm Pack friendly. And they are showing you different Moda collections. So this is that same quilt, and Catalina by Fig Tree and Safari Life by Stacy Itsu. The coupon is 20% off. The coupon code is Charm Book. This one is Whitney. And I'm going to show you all the quilts, but I like to show you the inside of the book so you can see what you're going to really get. Xena. And they give you different color options. Yolanda. Zelda. And if you notice in their books, they go in alphabetical order. The names are in alphabetical order, so that's how they do it. It took me a while to figure out.
I had not noticed that.
Exclamation point. And question mark. So you can see it goes V, Y, X, Y, Z, E, exclamation point, question mark. So I'm going to show you the quilts. So the coupon code, again, is Charm Book, 20% off through Monday. Oops. Sorry, I'm going to try to move some stuff. Oh, there's the coupon code. So what's nice about these is they're very beginner friendly, they're Charm Pack friendly, so everyone has a Charm Pack in their house. So this is something you can throw together in a weekend. This is one of their older prints. You can tell that this is the colors they used to design with. And I believe this is a Moda Essential Dot. And then this is the Safari Life collection with that quilt by Stacy Itsu. And some of these collections are now sold out, but I think it's great in the book that they show them to you so that you can get different ideas. And this one, the way they quilted it.
Hang on, let's go to top camera because front camera, sorry. Top camera went all crazy.
Okay. I don't know what that room was you just showed.
That's our film room.
Oh.
But
don't show it again.
No, yeah.
So what they did when they quilted this was they, what do you call that? Stitched in the ditch around the plus sign, and then did quilting, custom quilting out here. I'll just show them to the front camera. It's fine.
Yeah. Let me try to fix
We're having technical difficulties.
Yeah, sure.
All the live streams I've watched this week have had technical difficulties.
It's Mercury, I'm telling you.
And so this is Fig Tree. And okay, I do want to show this. What Barb and Mary do is they actually write after it's quilted with a Pigma pen. It says Me and My Sister Designs. That's how they label it, is literally with a Pigma pen, because you can't take that off. It's a permanent pen.
I think we're good with top camera now.
Okay, so I'll show you where'd it go? Oh, there it is. See how they do it? And you can tell they do it after because it's right by the binding. So if it ever gets stolen, it's there. It won't come out because it's permanent. Here's the next quilt in the book. So this, I believe, is, all of these collections are listed in the book. This is definitely Zen Chic. And this one has, this one is also custom quilted. Each of the little rectangles has like a rainbow, and then there's bubbles. So these are all custom quilted. All the books, all the quilts in the book are custom quilted by Sharon Ellsbury of Acme Quilts, AKAMAI Quilts. This is beautiful. This is a feather. So this is a feather that's it's custom because you can see the feather here, and then the start and the, well, not the start and the stops, but the custom. And this one has a little border. This is the backing. So I think this is Rue 1800s by Three Sisters.
Yes.
And then this is the Me and My Sister collection.
Back porch.
Back porch. And this one's also custom quilted. See how it's custom? And then this is all custom. That's pretty cool. And so this is a brand new book. Let's see. Okay, this one's bigger. Do.
Mm-hmm.
And the quilting on this is, I love it. You see the little daisy?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So
Very
this
cute.
is Zena, or how do you say that? Zena?
I think it's Xena.
Yeah,
like
Xena.
the warrior princess.
Yeah, so this one's a little bit bigger. It's 38 by 38. What did you just say? Warrior princess? What is that?
It's it says it in their book, but Xena, I think, is a character that is a warrior princess.
I don't know who Xena is. I am so out of date with that. Is it a Disney?
No, it's a television series.
Oh. This quilting is amazing. And this is Kansas Troubles Quilters. Milestones. And Stitch in the Ditch and custom quilting. And let's see what they put on the back. Same color but different prints on the binding. This is, I love this one. This is Canning Day. Look at that custom quilting. I don't know how you do that. Oh, and
really
see
cool.
their signature?
Mm.
It's so pretty. And this one's 38 by 38. I should make one of these this weekend with some leftover fabric. I feel like I just show stuff and then the next week I come back with the same stuff because I like it so much I can't stop. This one is Yolanda, and this one is Urban Farmhouse by Primitive Gatherings. And so you can see there's a lot of custom quilting. And this one she mixed wovens. Oh no, this is not wovens. Is it? I don't know if that's woven or not. I should know, but I don't. Off the top of my head, listen. I'm not sure. There's the back. And then Sugar Creek by Corey Yoder. I love this collection. I still have a little layer cake of it that I'm hoarding. I love this collection. And this is a Bella Solid. The quilting on these are amazing. So for all of you that don't want to sew a label in the back of your quilt, you can just draw it. This is ombre confetti. Let me see where they. Let's look at the. Let's see. So you can see how it ombres. It goes from. It literally goes from dark to light, and they did a scrappy binding.
That's really cute.
Mm-hmm. Well, of course you would like it. So they probably planned it where they cut different parts of the fabric, but it's charm pack friendly, so maybe not. But it's really nice. They're getting bigger. This one is Zelda. I'm getting confused on the name, sorry.
There we go. Yes,
Zelda Finnegan. They all sound the same to me, so that's why I'm getting confused. So there's a custom flower here. So you can see the custom flowers. This is Finnegan by Brenda Riddle. Goldenrod by One Canoe 2. If you've never been to her website, you should go because they have awesome planners and paper products. I'm a sucker for paper products and booklets. So the quilting's amazing. This one is rectangular. It's 34 by 42. This one is Ticklish. Super cute. So there's different, she did like different, let me show you. So you can see this is different rows of quilting. So that's a row, that's a row. It's all different. Each row is different on the quilting. I think that's pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the backing. This one is Exclamation Point by, and this fabric is Scarlet and Sage by Fig Tree. I think this might have been part of the collection. I can't remember, or if that's Abella. It's really pretty. This one is 33.5 by 38. Bubble Pop. No, Ticklish by me and my sister. So look at this one in the front camera so you can see the design better. See how it does like a little, see it like, yeah, I was like it forms, how would you describe that? It forms an off, yeah, it's awesome. I would make this one.
It's like echoed.
There you go, echoed. And then the next one is American Jane. Bubble Pop. And you can see all the custom quilting. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. She did amazing on these quilts. Mm-hmm. And then this is the last one. It's the biggest one. It's 36 by 44. I think it's the biggest one.
Yes.
The blocks are 8 inches finished.
Ooh.
This is Abbey Rose by Robin Pickens. This quilting is so pretty. And you can see that thatched is also used. So this is the basic of Robin Pickens. I think it's thatched. Maybe it's part of the collection. I think I'm wrong on that. Ignore me, that was not right. This one is Lindsay McCrae Flower Garden. And this collection was super popular, and there's another collection coming out this December that's the same colorway. So you could mix, if you wanted to make it bigger, you could use the newer collection with this. It's so fun to show all of these quilts. Mm-hmm. I don't know how we're going to get them off the table, though.
Oh, I got them.
We're going to scoot them.
Scoot them off.
Scoot them off. So it's kind of like a modified pinwheel. But you can see from this that you can do a lot with charm packs. I have charm packs everywhere. Or you could use your scraps that I've been showing you, the Lori Holt method, where you pull from your bin. So that is the quilts.
Here, I got them.
I got it.
Okay.
There we go. So again, it's 3rd times a charm again. I think this is the 4th in the series. And the code is Charm Book. So let me know if y'all have questions on that before I show you the next one.
From Pam Jordan, are they all small baby quilt size?
Yes. I would say so, wouldn't you?
Yeah, they're all about 30 something to
Yeah.
40 something square, aboutish. And okay, Pamela had the same question.
Yeah, they're all pretty small. Of course, you could do 2 charm packs or 3 charm packs and make them bigger. So let's see. These all use 1 charm pack, I believe. And so that's why they're all small. But if you wanted to, you could easily make any of these bigger because they're all set this way and this way. There's nothing funny in terms of, there's nothing on point. So you could just add more rows, more columns.
From Urak Hunt, hey, could you say happy birthday to my daughter, Shesak Hunt? She has recently gotten quilting and is a big fan of yours.
Yay! Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Shesak.
Yes.
Let me know if I mispronounced the name and I can say it correctly.
And I'm going to pull this stool up because my back is hurting real quick.
Go
Sorry.
for it, yes. Please.
Pull this.
Kathy Longo, when I was doing Journey to Nebula, was asking me which project I enjoyed the best. I have to say Jawbreaker, which was last 2 weeks' project, because that one came together and just looks so intricate with very minimal effort. And my family saw it and they're like, "This is so cool. How did you do this?" I'm like, "It's actually really easy."
Just say it's magic.
It's magic. The magic of quilting. Okay, and Fiber Fairy says, I have a pressing question for the Sewcialites block. Wisdom. I want to add it to my current quilt, but it needs to be 10 inches. How do I adjust it so that it can be that size block?
Okay. So if you want it 10 inches, it needs to be in. Let me look at the block first. Wisdom. So you need it to be divisible by, 10 divided by 3 is 3.33, right? So that won't work.
Yes.
So it won't work because unless you need, so you have 3 equal sections. Can you show the front? I mean the top.
Yes.
So as you, like, this is a section, a section, a section. So you have 3 sections, or actually I could just show the block. Of course it will be the one that I can't find. Oh, there it is. These are equal sections. So you need it to be divisible by 3. So you said 10?
Yes.
So it wouldn't work by 10 because 10 divided by 3 is 3.33.
It'd be a little small.
So unless you can figure out how to make a 3 1/3 on all this, which is probably not possible, but you could do 3 1/2 plus 3 1/2 plus 3 1/2, which would give you 9. You could do 4 4 4 uncut, which would give you 11. So if you wanted to do 11, these could be finished at 4 inches, unfinished 4 inches.
Question, because I am curious, would it be ridiculous to just add a little 1/2-inch border all around it?
No, it's just that you will have, if you do 1/2 inch, you could. It just would be hard when you start sewing it to the next block because your seams, you're going to have like 3 seams all together.
Okay.
Would be my concern. I would do it on a smaller block just because then you're going to have so much right there, you're not going to.
Okay. And from Shyla Ham, are all the quilts just shown in the book?
Yes, everything's in the book. And the collection names are all in the book. And they all use 1 charm pack. And they all use Moda fabrics.
And let's see, we have a few super chats that have been coming in. We got one from Nancy Lane for $19.99. Nancy Lane says, "Thank you, Kimberly and Fat Quarter Shop. You are such a sewing inspiration to me." And she put a bunch of little scissors emojis.
And don't forget, next week it's going to be Thursday. And next week the block is hard. So maybe I'll reward myself with a hot chocolate before I start.
Hot chocolate time. And then we had a super chat from Michelle Moore for $4.99. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.
And then, our last super chat here for the moment is from Mr. Domestic for $2.99.
Hi, Matthew.
Hello. And he put a little pear. It's
Aw.
very cute.
So also new from Martingale is a brand new monthly planner by Sherri McConnell. I'm going to flip through it so you can see how detailed it is. Now, Sherri is very into planning. If you know anything about Sherri and her daughter, they love to do planners. So I know that she has worked on this for several years with Martingale, and it's called a Quilting Life monthly planner because her company is called a Quilting Life. And there's lots of different sections in here. It's very detailed. I've already gone through this, but it is, if you are a planner, this is great. This is like your table of contents. This is your introduction. The first section is to-dos, and it starts with your current whips. And basically you can write down block names or different sections that you want to group it up into, and then you can check it off as you finish. So this is kind of a way, if you want to break down, you could either do each quilt as its own thing, or you could do each block, or if you're doing Sewcialites, you could put the Sewcialite block name. And then this section is for long-term whips. So if it's something, you know, like my quilt I'm never going to finish for Will, the Harry Potter quilt, that would go in this section.
Oh.
Bucket, I have to finish it for Christmas. This is my bucket list. So these are things that, you know, you might want to do in the future. This section records your patterns, rulers, and notions. And so it's got your pattern inventory. You can put the pattern name, where you have it. If you don't want to put where you have it, location of pattern, let's see. So this is like the book name. And then this is your ruler inventory. So if you were a new quilter and you weren't, you know, you could write down your rulers, and then when you went to the store, to your local needlework store, you could say, oh, okay, yes, I have it, or no, I don't. And then this is like you have it or you need it. This is your specialty notion section. Like it says 10-inch design boards from Farm Girl Vintage. You can put your notes. And then she also has like quantity, like if you have 3. So it's great because it shows you how to use it. This is your goal section. She gives you 20 steps to an organized sewing space. And she's going to talk a lot about this on her YouTube channel and her blog. So you can look her up at A Quilting Life. These are all organization. And then these are different things that you could take from here, take some of her ideas and, okay, which one of these would you like to do? Or which ideas did you already have? List them out. You could even put, one of the things I like to do is put a date. I could put a goal date. That's probably what I would do. Simplify your storage. Scrap management. So for example, I've been sewing my scraps into 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, and 6.5 inch squares. You could put that in there. Talk about how you're going to do it and how much time you're going to devote to it. And also give some definition of some basic pre-cuts. And this is like your progress charts. So again, this has a date and your results. You could write down how many squares you have, and then that way you would know how many squares of each size. That's probably something I need to do. You could do a monthly top 3 goals. So you could, and the great thing about this is that you can start anytime. You can start December, January. You fill it in yourself and you give yourself goals. Setting goals. I always have goals, so this is very helpful. These are gifts that you're going to make, and you could even put the occasion of what you're making it for. And here's some charity, a section for charity. Here's your planning section. It talks about how to use the section, and these are different ways, different goals you can set. And the month at the top, because this goes, with the summary. So lots of sections on planning. This will help you stay on track and not get behind like I do sometimes. So there's a lot for this. And then this is your quarterly planner. So This could be your monthly, this might be quarterly, so more of a long-term plan. This is your project planner. And this is the section I like the best because it's for each section you can write down what you need, and then you can put you have it or you need it. So you could write down everything you need, and it'll keep you on track of getting everything, all your supplies together that you need. So this is gathering your supplies, this is what you need to work on next, and this is notes. So this is more of a micro per project planner, which I guess would be a project planner, but yeah, per project. So there's lots of, and you would, if you got this, you wouldn't have to use all the sections. You could pick and choose what works best for you. Lists and locations. So these are shopping lists. So these are different things that, you know, maybe you want to be looking for on Fat Quarter Shop site, or, you know, I need 20 fat quarters or 10 charm packs. And this you can also use with, over here, if you put it on your shopping list, once you get it, you can check it off that you have it. I like that she has a big shopping list. And then this is great because this is a way to keep track of your different pre-cuts so you know what you have. So you could list any type of pre-cut. They're all defined here. And you can have an inventory list, and you could even add designer. So then you would know what you have from each size. This is a great thing because this is, if you want to display your quilts in your house like I do, you can put your item where you've stored it and where you want to place it for decoration. So I definitely need this section. Inspiration. She's giving you nonfiction books, quilting books. She's giving you a list of books that you want or have, so you can have a list also of your book inventory as well as your pattern. You can keep track of your favorite social media sites. You can also keep a list of hashtags. And here's some more information. This is Sewing Space Considerations, Sherri's favorite tools and notions. And so she gives you what she uses the most, her favorite specialty notions, and her, what tips you want to write down that maybe you want to come back to later. And that is Sherri. So this is brand new. It is $18.99 and it's 128 pages. So I wanted to show you guys that. So if you're a planner, you can plan. I'm a planner.
We have a comment from Charlotte Shurko. They say, Lily, would you please let Kimberly know that I am very grateful for the live tutorials. I am new to quilting and she is so helpful. Thank you for all you do.
Oh, thank you.
And we had a question from Rita L. about the live stream next week. Will it be live on Thursday or recorded and shown on Friday?
Live Thursday. We are going to pre-record some that will be towards the end of the year for like Black Friday, Christmas time, but this week will be live Thursday. Some in the future will be pre-recorded due to like people want to take off work, or I want to be with my family, that kind of thing. But we do try to be live when we can. I'm a little bit nervous about next week's. Oh my gosh, have you seen the block? It's got a lot of pieces.
And then we had a super chat from Princess P, Holly Martin, for $5. And Princess P says, thank you for all you do, Fat Quarter Shop.
Thank you.
Thank you, Holly Martin.
Yes.
And then we got another super chat from Ratty Catlith for 99 cents. And they put a little emoji that looks like it's the beach with an umbrella.
Oh, thank you.
Relaxation time. And new YouTube member, Christina P. Welcome, Christina.
Thank you. I wanted to also show you guys, we have a brand new book that Sarah has been working on like crazy. It's called Jolly Bar Book 3. So a Jolly Bar is a 5 by 10 inch pre-cut that we sell. It's obviously named after Jolly, Kimberly Jolly, Jolly Bar. 5 by 10. It's basically half of a layer cake or double of a charm pack. So this is our third book in the series. It is only $9.95. If you pre-order for this to ship in February, you even get 10% off. So it's a great deal. What we love about these books are they are very inexpensive and you get a lot of bang for your buck. So you can see all 20 quilts. These are all quilts that were previously in Jolly Bars because every Jolly Bar comes with a free pattern. And I'm super excited about this one. There's the cover. And so super exciting. So everything is there. We would hope that you would pre-order that. I'm very excited about it. And we are going to have a sew along with it. The sew along is going to be a table runner this time, which is super exciting. So it will be, and it will have a piece backing, but the great thing is it'll be smaller because some of the last ones have been kind of big. So we went a little bit smaller this time. Okay, so I'm going to show you something else new. It's over here, though.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. I don't know what I did with the other one, though. Did I leave it on my...
Are you still wearing it, perhaps?
I don't know.
Oh.
I took it off. Oh, here it is. It's in my
okay,
hand.
good.
Paper. So we have these new Scissor ID paper, Scissor ID tags. And they're a way to label your scissors so they don't get mixed up. So you can label thread scissors, fabric scissors, and paper scissors. So this was on, they are magnetic, so these go on paper. And so it's great for your husbands and your children so they don't open your Amazon packages with your fabric scissors. Don't ask me how I know about that. But a very inexpensive, cute little item. And it will also cuten up your sewing room because everybody likes cute.
Yeah. You should show the back of the thingy. It has a little
Oh, yeah,
drawing.
the image.
Yeah.
So it has an image of fabric, thread, or scissors.
Mm-hmm.
So paper, fabric, thread. Okay, so we also came out with brand new foundation paper pads. So this is our fourth one. All of them come in 6-inch and 12-inch sizes. They are foundation paper piecing. We have log cabin, economy, pineapple block, and now courthouse steps. Lori and I have something super special planned for you. I'm going to be sewing part of it this weekend. And it will use all 4 of the pads, and you can do either 6-inch or 12-inch. It is going to be a sew along next year. But I'm super excited about these papers. This is the one that I wanted to have made. They all have instructions here, and this is a quilt size guide. So if you wanted to know, a crib, here's your size. You need 6 by 6, a large lap, 12 by 12. It tells you everything you need. And the paper is really nice and thin so that when you pull it off, it will come off nicely. And we have made some projects from it. I think Lilly made this.
Yeah.
So this is made with a Dear Christmas honey bun. So she used the 6-inch size. Who quilted it?
Mike.
Oh, Mike quilted it. So mylongarm.com quilted it. This pattern is included in the pad. So she did this one, the table runner. So she took it, it's 2 blocks by 8 blocks. She used, it's honey bun friendly for the 6-inch and jelly roll friendly for the 12-inch. She put mammoth flannel on the back. So that's super exciting. Lilly was busy.
Yeah. Like I said, top secret. Couldn't talk about it for a little bit.
And then this one is also made by Lilly. This one is Ghouls and Goodies by Stacy Itsu. And she just used 4 courthouse steps blocks, and then she used some leftovers of the strips for her border. And one thing that Lilly does that's different than what I do, so I think it's awesome, is she leaves her paper on the back till she's totally done. So she keeps it in even when she's putting the blocks together. So that's one thing that's great about it, is you can make it your own. You can either do take it off as you go or leave it on. And it gives you perfectly, what I like about the paper is when you trim at the end, it tells you where to trim and where not to trim. You get a perfectly square block, and it's not shrunk, because sometimes when you do log cabins or courthouse steps, as you build, you shrink. So that's super exciting. I'm going to show you all of the others that we have also. It's so pretty. Are you going to quilt it, or are you going to send it to Mike?
I'm debating that. I'm not sure. But I'm going to use it to hold, I don't think there'll be trick-or-treaters this year, but to hold a candy bowl.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, we can have decoration.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, my neighborhood is doing some kind of like trunk or treat thing.
Oh.
But I'm not going to be here, so.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I get to miss it.
I get to miss it.
I get to miss it. I'm not a. Kevin is huge into Halloween. Anybody who works here knows he loves Halloween. Because we always have a lot of Halloween fabric because he can't stop buying it. So this is kind of an assortment of all of them that we have. And this will give you kind of a tease to what we're going to be doing. So I've actually done part of the quilt already, but we're not going to give details until about December. So I've been working on that behind the scenes. And the economy paper is actually by Lori Holt. And then I have one other thing to show you today. It is a quilt kit that came in stock. Sorry, we have a million things. It is the Pumpkins and Plaids quilt kit. It's actually featured in our newsletter today. And these come in, there you go, that's such a pretty picture. So it is Lori Holt fabric. Lori designed it. The pattern is exclusive and only available in the quilt kit. And it comes with a magnetic closure so you can see it. It closes, it's just there's a lot of fabric in it. So you can see it comes with the pattern, all of the fabric. It even has the rickrack that you can put in your binding, which is really nice that it comes with that. So pretty. So of course it's all Lori Holt fabric. It's a mix of her basics and her Farm Girl. Be Basics, Farm Girl. I'm thinking Farm Girl Vintage. I'm trying to think of the name of the collection. Let's see. Yeah, it's all just different collections from Lori. But I like this one, so I thought I would show it. And the outside of the box is inspired by the border.
Oh.
So that's where the outside comes from.
I think that border looks like little presents.
Yeah. And you could use that to, after you finish the quilt, you can use this as decoration. You could even put it in your family room. You could even just put it, it could just be a decoration.
All right. Questions. Okay, Crafting Plant Life was asking why I leave the paper on instead of taking it off like you. I find it helps me keep accuracy with the piecing because then I just keep following that 1/4 inch line on the paper.
Oh, yeah. So you follow it out here?
Yeah, I follow it as I piece them together.
Oh, okay. As you piece the blocks together.
Yeah, I follow them.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that makes sense.
It helps me and gives me a little more sense of security. And I also find that when I use these papers, other people are asking if I starch. I generally do, but not when I foundation paper piece. Not for any reason in particular, but I find it helps keep it stable, so then I don't need to starch.
Saves time.
Saves time, yes. Lori Holt said Autumn Love.
Autumn Love, yes.
Thank
I'm
you,
like,
Lori.
there's a name. Sometimes I get her books and her fabric collections mixed up. And I publish her books, so I should know the names. But with everything going on, I don't know. Today I'm kind of in a weird mood. I don't know.
It's Mercury, I'm telling you.
It's hard to I don't know. It's hard to do these live streams sometimes. I'm really hyper, so I don't know.
Okay, and from Lynette Briggs, this is my first chance to actually see Kimberly live. I want to thank you. Kimberly gave me enough confidence to make my first quilt, the ultimate beginner's quilt.
Oh, awesome.
Awesome. You should share a picture with us on our Facebook group, Kimberly Stitch Squad.
Yes.
And a few people were saying that it's good that Kevin doesn't stop buying Halloween fabric and for him not to stop buying Halloween fabric.
Yeah, well, sometimes I have to stop him because it's bad. And I'm like, we can't buy every Halloween fabric. He loves Halloween, though, with the kids. I was like, they shouldn't. I mean, I really don't think they should participate in this trunk or treat. And he's like, we are. And I'm like, okay, we are. You are, because I'm going to a dance convention. I'm going to a dance convention. They released the schedule yesterday and all the rules and everything, and seems like it's going to be pretty safe because you have the option to do it in your hotel room. You can do, and I'm like, well, that's great, but how are you going to dance in your hotel room? But some people are going to do it at home and then drive in if they compete. So not everybody will be there. A lot less studios are there. Usually it's like crazy amount of studios, so I can tell that they definitely have limited it. And then the ballrooms, they have like 5 ballrooms instead of 2. So yeah, I looked through everything, but I'm still confused because I was like, well, you need to highlight all your dances. She's like, oh, I don't know. She's like, I'll do it later. So I don't really know. And of course, none of the stuff has the times or anything. So it's kind of one of those you just kind of guess.
From a few people are wondering, is there enough fabric in the kit, both on its own and if you starch?
Let me look. It looks like there is. I would kind of read through it first to make sure, but they give you 1/4 of a yard, and like the first one says cut 2 strips, 2.5 by width of fabric. So that would be 5 inches. So you would have 4 extra inches. So I'm kind of one of those people that if I need extra, I'll just buy extra if I run out. But it looks like you should have enough. Maybe not on the, I don't know about the background. That would be the one that would be the trickiest.
And then Sandra Engstrad says, is the pumpkins and plaids pattern available separately?
So it's not. It's only available in the kit, and it says it on the back of the kit. Kit includes fabric for quilt top and binding, a spool of vintage trim, and the exclusive pattern that is only available in the kit. Now, some of the patterns they re-release later. They've released one after the fact, and they might be doing that in the future. So guys, thanks for watching today. I hope you have a great weekend. Find some great stuff to watch on TV, and I'll be back next week on Thursday.
Yes, bye everyone.